wishing you warmth, peace, and privacy this holiday season. The two children in the image were not present at the shoot at all. This is not a natural posture. The photo arrived on December 18, 2025, 3 days before the world would learn nothing about it was real. Harry and Meghan's annual Christmas card looked perfect at first glance. Winter trees framed the edges. Studio lighting gave everyone a golden glow. Two small children stood hand in hand beside the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, dressed in coordinated holiday outfits that probably cost more than most families spend on an entire Christmas. But their faces were blurred completely. The caption read like a contradiction wrapped in expensive paper. Privacy, they said. Protection, they claimed. Yet here was a professional photo shoot, distributed globally, styled to perfection, asking the world to look at something they weren't allowed to see. Within minutes, social media fractured into camps. Some praised the message. Others asked the obvious question, if you want privacy, why publish anything at all? Then came December 20th. A confidential leak surfaced from someone who claimed to work as a photography assistant in Montecito. According to this insider, Archie and Lilibet were never at that shoot. The children in the image were child actors, hired through a high-end Los Angeles modeling agency, selected for resemblance and height. The parents, the source alleged, never intended to feature their real children, only the idea of them. That's when the tremor became an earthquake. By the time the sun set that evening, the hashtag was trending in 14 countries, not because people were outraged, because people were finally asking out loud what they'd whispered for years. Who really gave birth to Archie and Lilibet? This wasn't new speculation. It had lived for years on fringe forums, anonymous blogs, and late-night deep dives, but the Christmas card gave it oxygen. Suddenly, the questions weren't rude anymore. They were necessary. Meghan's spokesperson, Daphne Keller, issued a statement within 48 hours. It was careful, polished, and completely unconvincing. As parents, Harry and Meghan have chosen to protect the identity of their children during sensitive times. Royal analyst Alina Thornbridge didn't hold back in her column for The Times. This is not a candid family moment, she wrote. It's a curated image wrapped in ambiguity, distributed globally, then defended as private. That contradiction is not accidental, it's strategic. Meanwhile, the Prince and Princess of Wales released their own holiday card. George, Charlotte, and Louis were shown baking gingerbread cookies in the kitchen at Anmer Hall, flour on their noses, messy hair, no filters, no blurs, no mystery. One family showed their children, the other showed a concept. The palace had remained silent on the Sussex children for years. That silence had been interpreted as tolerance, even protection. But on December 21st, that changed. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, was appointed by King Charles III to deliver a statement at Lancaster House. She stood in front of Commonwealth flags, flanked by 24 international journalists, wearing an expression that gave nothing away. Her opening line became instant history. This matter does not involve the crown. In fact, it never did. Then she continued with surgical precision. While the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have every right to raise their children as they see fit, the question of royal succession is not a matter of feeling or parenthood. It is a matter of verified lineage. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Sophie had drawn a line between two things that sounded similar but weren't: legal guardianship, which is private, and constitutional legitimacy, which belongs to the institution. Archie and Lilibet bear the Windsor name, she said, but naming alone does not create entitlement. That same week, attention returned to a woman known only as DL. She had first come forward in early December, claiming she was the gestational surrogate who carried both children for Meghan Markle between 2018 and 2021. She had signed contracts. She held medical records from a private clinic in Colorado Springs. She was willing to take a DNA test under court supervision. Until the Christmas card, her claims existed in a gray zone, plausible but unproven. Now, with blurred faces and hired actors, her story didn't sound so far-fetched anymore. A senior aide close to King Charles was quoted anonymously. "This isn't about privacy, it's about consistency. If you ask the world to believe in your motherhood but never show up in it, eventually the question stops being impolite, it becomes necessary." Inside Windsor Castle, the mood shifted from cautious to defensive. Sandringham, usually a place of holiday rest, became a strategy center. King Charles held 3 confidential meetings between December 19th and 22nd. Princess Anne, Prince William, and Duchess Sophie were all present. The goal was clear: assess constitutional exposure, manage media containment, protect public confidence. The decision was unanimous. A line had to be drawn, and it had to be drawn now. On the night of December 22, 2025, snow fell quietly across the gates of Windsor Castle. Inside, King Charles III signed what insiders now call the most consequential royal directive since his accession. The document was titled Memorandum on Succession, Integrity, and Institutional Titles. It was deposited with the Privy Council office just past midnight, sealed with the royal cipher, ensuring it was legally and constitutionally binding. It didn't name Harry, Meghan, Archie, or Lilibet directly, but its language left no room for interpretation. For the purpose of succession, recognition, estate eligibility, and ceremonial participation, only individuals whose birth records are accompanied by verified institutional documentation shall be regarded as heirs within the royal legacy of Windsor. This wasn't revenge, it was recalibration. The memo was published less than 72 hours after the Christmas card went viral, and only one day after Sophie's landmark statement. Together, they formed a 1-2 institutional response that effectively locked the gates of succession to anyone whose origins remained unclear or disputed. Sources inside Buckingham Palace confirmed the primary architect wasn't King Charles alone, it was Princess Anne. Known for her pragmatism and her unsentimental approach to royal duty, Anne had reportedly told her brother during a private walk at Highgrove House, "This isn't about appearances, it's about foundations. The monarchy survives only if it never wavers on blood." Anne has never commented publicly on the Sussex children, but her influence behind the scenes has been growing for years. In a rare moment of consensus, both she and Prince William fully endorsed the clarification, urging Charles to act before the holiday address, not after. William had lost patience. The Christmas card wasn't just poor optics to him, it was an affront to the crown's integrity and a betrayal of the family's silent tolerance. "We upheld silence out of respect," William reportedly told a senior aide, "but silence was used as a tool against us." Within palace corridors, the decision to appoint Sophie as the official voice of the monarchy wasn't made lightly. Known for her grace, loyalty, and lived experience of motherhood, Sophie had always remained under the radar. But that quiet strength was exactly what the monarchy needed, especially in contrast to the theatrical presentation unfolding in California. Sophie's past gave her credibility. Her first child, Lady Louise, was born via emergency cesarean at 36 weeks, nearly costing Sophie her life. Her second pregnancy with James, Viscount Severn, required constant monitoring. Unlike Meghan, Sophie had no glossy hospital photo shoot, no PR campaign, no scripted pregnancy reveal, just blood, risk, and survival. So when Sophie stood before the press and said, "In my 9th month, walking was difficult. The balance was fragile. There is nothing elegant about carrying life at that stage. It wasn't an opinion. It was the truth." And when she added, "What I saw in that hospital gown dance video was not familiar, not maternal, it was theatrical," the palace wasn't just clarifying a policy. It was setting a cultural boundary. The effects of the memo were immediate. On December 23rd, the official Royal UK website quietly moved Archie and Lilibet's profiles from the members of the royal family section to the extended family page, stripped of titles, rank, and precedence. The order of precedence, an internal ceremonial hierarchy updated annually, was revised that same afternoon. Neither Archie nor Lilibet appeared anywhere in the line of succession or event planning matrix for 2026. More strikingly, King Charles's Christmas Day speech, pre-recorded 2 weeks earlier, was subtly re-edited. Mentions of our grandchildren were removed. No reference, direct or implied, was made to the Sussex branch of the family. It was surgical. One palace official remarked, "Not cruel, not angry, just final." On the morning of December 24th, Meghan Markle was photographed leaving a Santa Barbara yoga studio. She wore crisp white, carried a worn copy of Women Who Run with the Wolves, and gold earrings that spelled out Mama. The image was widely circulated by celebrity outlets. Many saw it as an intentional rebuttal to the wave of accusations questioning her motherhood. But for palace insiders and public commentators, the gesture felt calculated, not comforting. She's not responding with substance, one former royal PR advisor told The Telegraph. She's styling an archetype. Mother is symbol. The problem is, the monarchy just reaffirmed that titles aren't awarded to symbols, they're awarded to truth. That truth, or the threat of it, was gathering momentum in Geneva. DL the Rands. Anonymous surrogate had retained a legal team operating under the tight privacy protections of Swiss law. In a televised interview on RTS channel, DL calmly stated, "I have nothing to hide. I did not seek this attention. I was silenced. Now I'm simply putting the truth back on the table." At Archewell HQ, panic had set in. According to leaked internal emails from Montecito staff, 2 pre-recorded podcast episodes were pulled before release. A Netflix docuseries titled Roots and Roses, initially slated for February 2026, was placed on indefinite hold. The docuseries was reportedly centered on Meghan's journey through motherhood. It included never-before-seen footage, voiceover diaries, and stylized reenactments, until legal advisors warned that any content portraying Meghan physically pregnant could become evidentiary material in court. What began as a story of privacy and empowerment was now careening toward potential fraud. Even more damning was the quiet revision of the Archewell Foundation website. On December 22nd, a key sentence vanished. "They are the proud parents of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet of Sussex." In its place, a vague rewording appeared. "Together, they cherish their family and advocate for every child's future." The omission of the titles did not go unnoticed. Royal watchers across social platforms saw it for what it was, a retreat, not a clarification. DL's legal team, led by Swiss constitutional lawyer Dr. Marion Herfler, announced on December 24th that they would file a motion in the UK High Court within 10 days. The filing requested 3 things: legal immunity for DL to testify without fear of retaliation, a court-supervised DNA verification process, a formal review of royal succession eligibility for the Sussex children. Among the materials DL claimed to possess were 2 signed surrogacy contracts dated 2018 and 2020, a handwritten note from Prince Harry allegedly thanking DL for carrying our family safely into the world, ultrasound images with biometric data and timestamps, and postnatal records from a private prenatal clinic in Colorado Springs. The royal household declined to comment on the documents, but it did not deny their existence. According to insiders, King Charles was briefed on DL's materials weeks before her public emergence. He ordered that all succession-based inheritance rights be shielded via internal legal firewall. This firewall included full archival lockdown of royal hospital records from 2018 to 2021, notification to Commonwealth legal offices about updated succession criteria, and permanent withdrawal of ceremonial invitations to the Sussex children. While Charles crafted legal defense and Sophie delivered public statements, it was Princess Catherine's silence that drew the most attention and admiration. Over the course of the scandal, Catherine maintained a full slate of public duties. She visited Great Ormond Street Hospital on December 20th, hosted rehearsals for the Together at Christmas Cathedral concert, and participated in toy donations for displaced families in the Midlands. She never addressed the controversy, she never issued a statement, she never posted a photo. But according to a confidant quoted in Vanity Fair, Catherine told a friend, "You cannot speak of motherhood as performance. For women who have lived it, the silence is sacred." Her silence wasn't absent, it was a declaration. The Christmas card released by the Wales family, a warm candid of George, Charlotte, and Louis icing cookies, only intensified the contrast. No filters, no blurs, no lighting tricks, just flower, messy hair, and joy. It was a subtle yet devastating rebuke of the Sussexes' overly styled imagery. One headline in the Daily Mail captured the public mood. One family showed us their children, the other showed us their stage. By Christmas Eve, it became clear that Harry and Meghan would not be attending the royal holiday events at Sandringham. There would be no Christmas walk to church, no family photos on the palace steps, no invitations, no olive branches. Sources close to Prince William say the decision was unanimous. The palace, having issued its statement and legal posture, would not engage with further spectacle. "This isn't the year for forced smiles," a senior royal advisor reportedly said. "It's the year we protect the institution visibly." A filing was submitted to the High Court in London, that would send another shockwave through Britain's oldest institution. The documents bearing the initials DL arrived not through paparazzi or press conferences, but through formal legal channels. According to verified court records, the filing requested a supervised DNA test for Archie and Lilibet, testimony protection for DL as a former surrogate, and a review by the Ministry of Justice into whether Meghan and Harry knowingly misrepresented the children's birth origins in public and official declarations. Most explosive of all, attached to the motion was a digital copy of a handwritten note allegedly from Prince Harry himself, dated just days after Lilibet's birth. "Thank you for safely carrying our family. You will never be forgotten, even if you must remain invisible." While its authenticity has not yet been confirmed by the court, royal aides were caught off guard. One insider confessed, "We feared rumors, what we got were receipts." Within hours of the legal filing becoming public, streaming giant Netflix announced the indefinite suspension of all upcoming projects involving Meghan and Archewell Productions. This included Roots and Roses, the now-delayed docuseries, a branded holiday special tied to motherhood and heritage, and a deal with a U.S. parenting network that was quietly dissolved. Insiders say Netflix executives grew increasingly uncomfortable with potential legal entanglements over image rights, maternity misrepresentation, and the use of children, real or otherwise, as commercial props. Meanwhile, Meghan's personal brand, once centered on empowerment and motherhood, faced mounting backlash. Parenting magazines withdrew covers, influencers unfollowed, and across social media, the hashtags #WhoAreTheChildren and royal surrogacy trended for days. Though often absent from these constitutional crises, Queen Camilla made a rare and private move. According to palace sources, she requested a private audience with King Charles on the evening of December 27, not to defend Meghan, but to express concern over Harry's emotional collapse. "He's spiraling," she reportedly said. "This may break him, and that would break you." Charles, while unmoved publicly, was said to be visibly torn, but the institution had spoken, the memo had been signed, and the boundaries were no longer flexible. Camilla's gesture was noted, but not acted upon, not this time. While Meghan attempted to posture strength through visuals and symbolic statements, Harry had gone dark. He canceled his appearance at the Invictus Games winter fundraiser, delayed a podcast on mental health, and withdrew from a scheduled veterans event in California. The man once known for his candor was now missing in action. Royal observers began asking the question no one had dared say aloud. If the children are his and he knows it, why hasn't he defended them? The silence was no longer strategic, it was damning. The whispers stopped being whispers. An internal review conducted by Palace Intelligence and Communications Services, a discreet, highly confidential branch of royal protocol enforcement, completed its investigation into the Christmas card released by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Their conclusion was shared in a classified briefing at Windsor, attended by King Charles, Prince William, Princess Anne, and Duchess Sophie. The children featured in the Sussex Christmas card were not Archie Harrison or Lilibet Diana. They were professional child actors. The report included agency paperwork, model release forms, and digital metadata linking the photo shoot to a private studio in Burbank, California. The children's faces had been digitally blurred, not to protect privacy, but to obscure identity. The effect inside the palace was instant and visceral. "We suspected it," said one senior courtier, but to have it confirmed that they staged their own children was the moment the dam broke. Prince William, according to aides, reacted with cold fury, reportedly stating, "This is not a media misjudgment, it's an impersonation, and worse, it's weaponized parenthood." King Charles convened an unscheduled meeting with his Lord Chancellor, Chief of the Privy Council, and 2 constitutional historians. The goal, to finalize and deposit an official succession record updated in light of DL's claims and the Christmas card fabrication. The result was an addendum to the Memorandum on Succession, Integrity, and Institutional Titles, signed by the King in Windsor's Crimson Drawing Room and quietly archived in both London and Edinburgh. Its language was direct. No individual presented to the public or to official channels under disputed biological origins shall be entitled to claim ceremonial inclusion, sovereign benefits, or protected royal status without full verification. Though names were again omitted, the implication was devastatingly specific. By New Year's Day, Archie and Lilibet's titles were officially retired across all internal royal correspondence. In court circulars, ceremonial briefings, and digital records, they were now simply listed as children of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, non-titled, non-ceremonial. The monarchy had turned the page. As London prepared for its New Year's Eve fireworks, Duchess Sophie of Edinburgh made an unannounced appearance on the BBC's Royal Outlook special broadcast. It was not pre-promoted, it was not expected, and it changed everything. Sitting across from interviewer Jonathan Reeve, Sophie appeared calm but resolute. She wore no tiara, no brooch, just a navy dress and the Windsor pearl earrings once worn by Queen Elizabeth. "You spoke on behalf of the Crown earlier this month," Reeve began. "Why speak again now?" Sophie didn't flinch, because clarity is not cruelty, it's responsibility. She confirmed, for the first time publicly, that the children seen in the Sussex Christmas card were not recognized by the institution as authentic representations of Archie and Lilibet. "We cannot dignify performance when truth is what the monarchy is built on." When asked if Meghan's intentions were malicious, Sophie offered a piercing distinction. "There's a difference between storytelling and deception. One is art, the other seeks power without earning it." Then came the line that would be quoted around the world. "Motherhood is not a costume, and legacy is not a filter." As Sophie's words aired across the Commonwealth, Princess Catherine was seen attending a private candlelit vigil at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Sandringham, joined by her children and Prince William. She made no statement, she didn't need to. Public sympathy exploded online. Thousands of women across the UK and Canada took to social media to post pictures of themselves with the caption "Carry Truth." The hashtag trended for 36 hours. In contrast, Meghan's team released a short statement via legal channels. "We will not respond to defamatory speculation rooted in institutional politics." But it arrived too late and with too little force to regain ground. Inside Montecito, sources describe a household in disarray. Meghan reportedly insisted on fighting back with a new interview. Harry refused. "They're turning on each other now," a former Archewell advisor said. "This wasn't just about parenting, it was about power, and he lost both." Harry is said to have cancelled his planned return to the UK in January, citing security concerns, but palace aides confirm no invitation was extended. The British monarchy has drawn its lines, not in sand but in stone. The DL case continues in court. The Sussex children's titles are erased. Meghan's motherhood brand has collapsed under the weight of verification. Sophie has emerged as a moral compass, balancing strength and sorrow. Catherine remains the quiet standard, the living contrast to performance. And Harry, he stands alone, a prince without a path, surrounded by consequences of his own silence. On the evening of January 1st, 2026, King Charles III appeared in a solemn pre-recorded New Year's broadcast from the Crimson Drawing Room of Windsor Castle. For the first time in years, there were no traditional royal portraits behind him. Instead, a single unlit candle stood beside a stack of archival leather-bound documents, symbolizing memory, loss, and legacy. His voice, composed but marked with strain, opened with familiar themes of service, resilience, and national unity. But midway through, the tone sharpened. "We enter this year not only as heirs to tradition, but as guardians of its integrity." Then came the line already being etched into headlines across the world. "In our family, as in any nation, truth is not inherited. It is earned, upheld, and made visible by those who live it." Without naming Meghan, Harry, Archie, or Lilibet, Charles had spoken volumes. He didn't attack, he didn't make excuses, he clarified. It was the final statement, not of rejection, but of restoration. Just hours earlier, DL's legal team in London confirmed they had received initial scheduling from the High Court. DNA verification proceedings are set to begin on February 12, 2026. In a brief recorded message released on January 1st, DL stated, "I never asked to be remembered, but I will no longer allow myself to be erased. What they made invisible was real, and now it will be recognized." Her voice was steady, her eyes did not blink. She ended with a line that echoed Sophie's weeks earlier. "Motherhood isn't something you hire, it's something you survive." What remains in the wake of this royal firestorm is a sobering recalibration. Titles are no longer assumed. Lineage must be verified. Emotional narratives no longer override constitutional order. The monarchy has reclaimed control, not through vengeance, but through boundary. As the broadcast ended, King Charles stood beside the candle. For the first time, he placed his hand on the stack of red leather files, each marked with the seal of Queen Elizabeth II. His final words were not just for the public, they were for history. We do not choose our lineage, but we do choose how to honor it, and that choice, above all else, defines who may wear the name Windsor. The camera held still, the candle remained unlit. The line had been drawn, and it would not be moved.